G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present why I am very likely to be trading out Clayton Oliver. I think the title is going to be why I am trading out Oliver. It just makes if you guys did content creation, you would understand. It makes the video more clickable. But I am still very likely to be trading out Clayton Oliver. I do have a bit of a cold, so I might be sounding a little bit different, but sometimes, like, I just thought to myself today, and I just came back home from Melbourne to Melbourne today. Pretty tired, that sort of thing. It's been a long day of traveling, but I thought to myself, this is like one of the last or second last relevant Supercoach week of the season. And I just thought I may as well pump out as much content as possible, because I think you'll see with a lot of content creators, including myself, there's not that much to talk about unless there's an injury, a suspension, those sort of issues. So this week is really sort of finalising your team. For me, it'll be finalising round 16, just due to the plan that I have got in place with my team. So it's that sort of thing. Yeah. So anyway, I'll show you guys why and all that sort of thing of why I'm trading out Oliver. So make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs before round 1 2024, and that would be a great accomplishment. So make sure you do that. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want, and make sure you follow me on TikTok, SDS_SuperCoach, posting a lot more on there, and also Twitter, Stephen W. Smith. Anyway, let's get into the point of the video. We want to keep the viewer retention. So Clayton Oliver. As you guys might have known, if you guys watch me week in, week out, I've held Oliver this whole time. So round 11, what was it? Yeah, I think it was round 11. So round 10, he got injured against the Power on the Thursday night. Round 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've held him for 5 weeks, and the situation just isn't getting any better. So, to my knowledge, what in my opinion that has happened, he's done his hamstring. He was meant to be out for 2 weeks. It was looking like he could have returned. He was going to return for the Collingwood game, but during that week before the game, he did get an infected blister. He spent in hospital for 6 nights, so that really affected him. And then the buys happen and all that. And I believe from what I've heard that he's re-injured his hamstring last Monday. And now we see him with the injury report that he's out for 1 or 2 weeks. So he could even be out not just this week, but next week as well. And look, I was big on holding Oliver this whole time. And look, people probably laugh at me for holding him, but I just thought, well, it's a short-term hamstring injury. If he didn't get that infected blister, he's probably playing King's birthday against Collingwood, but that really affected him, and then it really slowed up his recovery. So, look, I think everyone has a breaking point, and I believe I have reached it. And I've thought of a good idea on how to finish my team with 3 trades left, and next week will be my final trade with my final team. I'll show you guys what I'm planning on doing. So this is talking about why I'm trading out Oliver. I think I already gave a few reasons why. Look, this hold's been an absolute disaster. I think if you're playing for leagues, I think he is a hold. But for me, I'm playing for rank. And look, probably back in round 11, this was a situation where I had to trade. And look, it's been a bit of a disaster hold. So I'll tell you guys my little story as well. So after round 11, after round 10, I was ranked 3K. And I decided to hold Oliver, and I thought, you know what? He could be back pretty shortly, that sort of thing. But I slowly bled out to 5.4K, I think, after round 14. This week was a massive jump. Now, that's because I planned out, I'd like to think I planned out pretty well to go up over 2,000 spots in the season rank. Just by not having that many round 15 premiums, round 15 players. So I had 18 on field. It would have been 19 if Oliver played, but I'm back out to 3.2K season rank. So it's almost like a second chance. I was saying it on Twitter as well. It's like a second chance for me to right my wrongs. I'm not sure if that's the right saying, but it's a second opportunity to go, you know what? Okay, I'm going for rank and trading out Oliver. I believe, like, if I side swap him to a premium, they'll just net me more points and hopefully I can finish inside the top 1K. That is the aim. Hey, if we do better than that inside the top 1,000, that would be tremendous. And I'd like to think that this sort of plan to finish my side, it's all right. It's not a disaster. It's not ideal, but a couple of things, a couple of blokes that I'll be missing pretty badly, and a couple of blokes I'll have instead in those positions doesn't feel that good. But hey, look, we're in this position now. I'll explain it to you guys now. So, as I said, I'm very likely to be trading out Oliver this week. I've reached my breaking point. Enough's enough. Like I've had a 650K top of the line premium missing for about five weeks in a row. It could extend to 7. And there's one more thing I'll explain with Oliver. If he comes back, what's that going to look like? We don't know because he's essentially redone his So he's done his hamstring, infected blister, then he's done his hamstring again, to my knowledge. What does that mean? Does that mean he's going to get managed during games? Like, let's say it's a blowout for Melbourne and they've got a pretty good run home. What, are they just going to sub him out at 3/4 time? That sort of thing. They're just going to rest him. And then another thing as well, if Melbourne's position is locked up, they might rest him for finals. And look, that makes total sense in an AFL team's point of view. If they're locked up in 3rd or 4th position, why would they risk him for the last 2 games? They want him cherry ripe for finals. And that's what AFL teams really care about the most. So if you're in that position to make finals. So Oliver, look, I really like Clayton Oliver, but it's just gotten to a point where it's just too much. So Oliver is gone. At this point in time, things can still change, but that's what I'm thinking. Bailey Humphrey's break even is 120. He's got to go. I was thinking of keeping him as cover, but glad I decided to go with Keys. That really helped, and he'll probably be my F6 because I don't see any reason. Like, I was a bit worried that he'd be moved into the forward. If he's tagging Dacos and scoring 119, he wasn't hard tagging, but it's just around the contest. I don't see any reason why Keys can't go 100 plus, and I can't see why they would move him out of the midfield. Soligo said he's tired. They might put Rochelle in there, Sloan is. Look, are you really going to play Rory Sloan over Ben Keys in the middle? I think their main blokes would be, in my eyes, the main blokes are Dawson, Laird, and Keys. Keys is going to be more your defensive type of midfielder. They're not going to go through him a lot, but you'd like to think that he'll be getting a lot of tackles, that sort of thing. So I'm comfortable with Keys at F6. So these two are gone. I'm going to get in Christian Petrarca. I listened to the SuperCoach sword play. I was having a walk on the beach while listening to the SuperCoach sword play podcast by Dr. Janet Spills. If you don't watch that, make sure you do. It's great content. And they brought up just an amazing point. Petrarca, he loves taking advantage of the poorer teams. And he's still got, I believe he's still got North Melbourne, Hawthorn. It's just a really nice run. Hang on. I won't be lazy. I'll just bring it up here. I'll just bring up the fixture from here. It's actually a really nice fixture, bar a couple of games. GWS, that's in Alice Springs, I believe. St Kilda, Brisbane are a good side. Adelaide, yeah, good side, but you've got Richmond, North, Carlton, Hawthorn, Sydney. That is an amazing run to finish out the year. Like, he scored a 167 against North, 159 against Carlton, that sort of thing. So Hawthorn 148, and he's playing those teams again in 3 weeks in a row. And I just think I can't be passing up on that. So I'm going to get Petrarca in, especially if Oliver's being managed and all that. I think he can go bananas, and he's a bloke I really don't want to bet against. I want a heavy hitter in my side, and Petrarca's certainly that. And the other bloke I'm going to get in is Harry Himmelberg. Now, this is purely for cover, and which is why I like this plan, because this does give me defensive forward cover. And my plan is to actually hold Matt Johnson for the rest of the season as my M9. Look, it's not ideal, but hey, look, we can't wish for everything, you know. So, yeah, those are likely going to be the two trades that I do. And then next week, we're going to look, we're going to look to side swap Ashcroft for Callum Mills. Now, this isn't exactly the most ideal situation in the world, but we know the quality's there. He's done it in the past. He's done some really good scoring in the past, so you can't deny that. I'm a little bit concerned about the calf. I'm a bit concerned about just the role. Like John Longmire can move anyone anywhere at any given time. So Mills, he's got a 167 break even. He's still going to drop a lot of money this week. So I'm going to be targeting that. Hey, if I had more money in the bank, I'd be going for a more just a more reliable option at this point in the year. But I've made my own bet in terms of trades this year, and there's been some mistakes I've made and all that. So there would have been a way that I probably could have gotten like a Sam Walsh even, but this is just the position that we're in. So we're going to go for Callum Mills next week for Ashcroft. I think Ashcroft's actually going to score pretty well against Richmond this week. Only an 87 break even. Plays well at the Gabba. Richmond league points pretty comfortably. So I think Ashcroft's a good option for this week to hold. And they've got Brisbane at the Gabba next week. So if Mills has got even more money to drop, I'll happily keep Ashcroft for another week and make that trade. So because I think he'll score well this week and next week. So I'm going to hold Ashcroft a little bit longer, but I think the eventual plan is to swap him to Mills. Let's optimize this. And as you can see, my projected score, very happy with that. VC and C early days. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I think Josh Dunkley. I want to target sides that have come off their bye. Sides coming off the bye are 2-10, and the 2 wins from teams were against other teams with the bye. So I really want to target that. Dunkley Thursday night VC against Richmond. He is certainly a very good option. Richmond league points. I might go Lockie Neal, maybe to be a little bit more different, but that's the sort of thing that I'm tossing up between Neal or Dunkley. Rory Laird as captain against North, like another team coming off that bye. Richmond are coming off the bye. So that's what I'm really targeting. Laird seems to be back in very solid form. Josh Dunkley seems super solid as a vice captain or captain option at the minute. He's just playing really good footy. So Dunkley's pretty safe. And then Laird, look, at the minute, he is pretty safe. So look, this is how the team's looking. Also, another thing I saw on Twitter as well today, I think if you press optimize, now, because my problem is I don't have a defensive forward loop. I mean, besides Sheasel. So I could have one on each side, but what if Dawson gets injured? You're swapping Sheasel out of the mid. And yeah, it's hard to exactly tell you how, but it's a little bit complicated. But I think if you press optimize, I think I can make it work. So I think Himmelberg, even with Sheasel staying there, I think there is a way that he can be swapping between defence and forward. But we'll figure that out later in time. I'll probably just keep him at the forward for the time being, just in case that doesn't work. So, yeah, look, this is probably the final team. Ashcroft will be Mills eventually, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm missing Libba. I'm missing Butters. That does suck a bit, but hopefully Sheasel can keep playing well. Day, if he can average 90 plus, we'll take that. Mills, if he can, Mills concerns me, but if he can average 95 plus, I guess I take it. Keys needs to stay in the midfield, and obviously all these blokes need to stay healthy. So, look, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. There'll be more videos throughout the week. Sorry that we didn't do jump on, jump off last week. We just really ran out of time. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Have a good night.